Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz on January 5, 2020 and 10:43 p.m. in Birmingham. And I'm going to try to do a real gentle version of what happened with the U.S. and Iran inside of Iraq, right near the U.S. Embassy. And it was Salman Rouhani. That's not exactly how you spell his last name or pronounce it, but that's all you're going to get out of me. Remember that, Rouhani. And he's a terrorist. He had books of the hits that were lined up to hit targets that would kill Americans. He had those with him. And how they found out, I'm sure intel, we have spies there as well as their spies are here, but that put him right on the X when he needed to be there. Because look, our Trump is not like Bush, he's not like Clinton's, and he's certainly not like Obama. We had a president that would do what he said he would do in the beginning. This is why we elected him. This man, Rouhani, there we go, Rouhani, he has more power in the country than the president. I probably said that already, but I said it again. But when he died, when it went out over the news, keep in mind, let me tell you a little bit about the people of Iran. Don't compare the people of Iran, the Persian people. Don't compare them with their government. It's like the Persians, they love Americans. Take my word for it, they do. And they hate their government. They love us more than they love their government, because their government is so evil. And if you want to dig up some things about that and read it, look no further than Sharia law. It's spotted. Anywhere they want to impose it, they do. But when they came, and they have free reign, they go in any Mideast country they want to go into and strike any target they want to strike, and no government stops them. The cheers not only went up in Iran, they went up in Saudi Arabia, they went up in Iraq, they went up in many other countries when this man was killed. And I'm talking about the Muslim world, the Arabs. Now, he is Shia, and you have Saudi Arabia are Sunnis. So they oppose. Shias think that they can, the 12th Imam, or anyway, this is the way, this is the fight, this is the battle that'll bring about their savior. Well, they don't have a savior. They say he's Jesus, but Allah's their God. So you know where that gets you. Let me say this. In the end, and you'll hear the studies on it, it's Iran's goal, the Shias' goal, the Sunnis' goal, no, the Shias, is to take out the big Satan, take out America, so they can attack and destroy Israel. They know as long as we're here, they can't do that. Now, they will be part of Ezekiel 38, 39, just like Turkey, Libya, just like Yemen, other countries around Yemen, and then you cross over and you have Russia, Gog and Magog. You have a lot of countries that are band together. And when I say that, I don't believe that there will be a lot more as far as battle-wise between the United States and Iran. I do believe that they're going to wave a white flag. After a while, there are going to be a couple more punches, but when we punch harder, they'll tend to drop back, and exactly what they did. They dropped back a little bit when he was killed. And Trump's not kidding them. But I want you to know, war is not coming to our soil. War is not yet coming to Israeli soil. When it comes to Israeli soil, when it comes to Israel, it'll come one time. And God will end it, like inside of an hour. And all those armies that went in to take out Israel died. All their equipment, millions of tons of rockets, of planes, of tanks, everything you can imagine is all over the mountains around Israel that'll be burned for fuel for 7 years. And 7 months to bury the dead. God will win that quickly. So there will have to be a war. But when people start trying to put together, well, we, the big Satan, they've taken us out so they can do their attack. No, what's going to start that war, what's going to start Ezekiel 38, is the removal of the church. Removal of the church. We can't lose a war with Iran. We won't lose a war with Iran. In about 3 minutes, Trump could take out those 52 targets he has targeted right now. And they'll be gone that quick. Their ability to make war won't happen anytime soon. And they know that. And they're not willing to risk it. So you're going to see a lot of spitball throwing back and forth for a while. And they're going to wave a white flag and try to get things back on target as far as maybe talks. See, Obama went and gave him $150 billion to not do this. Obama went and gave Kim over North Korea, don't do this. Billions. And so did Clinton's, and so did Bush's. They gave money. Trump didn't give him a dime. And Trump took back the money that Obama supposedly sent to Iran. Look, we're not going to war over this. If there's a war, the escalation is going to be very little, if any, over what it is already. It can't get any bigger right now. I mean, look, they've been wounded severely, and they're not going to chance a hit so hard that it would cripple them for a number of years. They're not willing to do that, and I would bet on that. And but they are flying, and the Shia does not do this often. They are flying the red flag. This is the red flag of war. When they fly that, they think that flag means that they're on the cusp of opening the ground up and letting their Jesus come out of the pits to save them. Well, you think Jesus is going to come out of a pit and save them? No. Look, there's more people in Iran coming to Christ today than there are in our country. There's more people in Iran probably praying for just this very thing than there are people in our country. And I don't know how the Chinese feel about us in general, but the people in China, there's more people in China coming to Christ every day than there are people coming to Christ in our country. So we've got a lot of support there for us. Trump doesn't want a battle, but this guy marches in with missiles, blowing the compound gates, going inside and writing his name on the side of our embassy. That was a little bit too much. Well, he won't write his name on that wall again, will he? And don't worry about this blowing up. Don't worry about the we're not going to have war here. Over there, it'll be no more than what it already is. And even though the parliament in Iraq voted this evening to tell America to leave, and Pompeo said, we'll leave if they want us to. But they don't want us to. And then when they were interviewing him, they said, yeah, but the parliament just voted. He said, well, you got two parliaments in Iraq. You have one that put themselves in charge, and you have one that's elected by the people. The ones elected by the people wants us to stay. And it's the one that's propped up by Iran that wants us to go. So you got me there. That means we'll stay because we're protecting the people in Iraq. But they need to learn to protect themselves because they're still afraid of Iran. Iran has free will to go and come whenever they want, do whatever they want to do, anytime they want to do it. That's not right, but they're doing it. They're doing it in Syria. They're doing it in every other country. They're not doing it so much in Saudi Arabia. And this might be because Saudi Arabia has been spending a lot of money buying weapons the last several years. So just want to tell you, don't worry too much about a draft coming up. But I want to make one last statement here. And the age of accountability, people need to understand what that means. And I'm going to take my 13-year-old granddaughter. She's smart, attractive, intelligent, and this has her concerned. Meaning she has enough knowledge about this that she's wondering if there could be a war. And if she's thinking that there could be a war, naturally she prays about that. At the age of accountability, if you're able to choose for yourself, you're going to sneak out of the window tonight and go somewhere, or just stay out late after your parents tell you don't come back in early. If you can choose for yourself and make rational decisions, whether they're rational or not, just make your own decisions, then you're able enough to talk to God. You're able enough to talk to the Lord. And if you go to John 3:16 and just read it, let me tell you how quick it takes for a person to be saved. Jesus on the cross, nailed to the cross, and no one knows exactly when, at what point, or what hour. He died like 3 p.m. What hour did the thief next to him say, simply, remember me when you come into your kingdom? And Jesus, after beaten half to death, nailed to the cross, and his last few drops of blood left in his body, had such compassion for that man. He said, today you'll be with me in paradise. That's how easy it is to be saved. God said, remember me when you come to your kingdom. That simple. Our young people need to know that. The next blog, I'm going to tell you when it all started and how it got to where it is right now. And I may not be, I'll try to be nice about it. Sometimes I can't. But I just needed to tell you that. And next one coming up just a moment. Jody Wolf, Expoz.